that we're experiencing today at this moment, anyhow, always subject to change, is lovely. And it happens to be the perfect backdrop for the lovely wine that we're featuring. And that would be the delightful white that is known as Riesling.
Delicious.
Yes, Riesling, widely enjoyed, known for being crisp and refreshing. And it's lovely all year, but it does have an elevated level of refreshment during the spring and summer months.
Absolutely. As we always say, it's a perfect glass of wine for the deck or the backyard. And if we can string together a couple nice days, we might actually be able to go out into the backyard.
Yes, yeah, back-to-back nice days would be nice. Such a luxury, yes, for sure. Riesling is really associated with Germany. It's really where it all began. Hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, some evidence suggests, as when they first started producing Riesling in Germany. Riesling is the name of the grape itself, and rarely is Riesling blended with anything else. The grape is so versatile and so hearty and delicious on its own that it really is a standalone varietal. And we talked about versatility as far as not just the time of year in which it's enjoyed, but also in the taste. Wide range, anything from dry and crisp to very sweet.
Correct. Yeah, people tend to think when they hear Riesling that it is sweet. That's not the case all the time. A lot of places have very nice dry Rieslings, which we've experienced. Personally, that's what I prefer. I'm not a big fan of the sweeter version. So if you hear Riesling, don't immediately discount it thinking it's going to be a super sickly sweet wine, because that's not always the case.
Right. What's cool about Riesling is, well, that it is produced in cool temperatures. Climates that are colder, on the cooler side, is really where it thrives. But what's cool about that also is that the timing of when the grape is picked is what dictates how dry or sweet that particular wine is going to be. So the earlier the pick, the more dry it's going to be. And the really late harvest Rieslings, especially the ones that are so late in the season that they freeze, are what become the lovely dessert wine that we know as ice wine. Very sweet, dessert to be sure, but also delicious.
Absolutely, and that's another tip. If you see late harvest on the bottle, you pretty much guaranteed it's going to be on the sweeter end of the spectrum.
Yes. So we talked about colder climates. In addition to Germany, it also does very well in Austria. They even make it in Canada. Interesting, our neighbors to the north. Picturing like a Dudley Do-Right Mountie having his Riesling after a hard day on the trail. It's also produced in this country very, very well, notably in states such as New York, upstate Michigan, Washington State, and Oregon. So all kinds of background as far as Riesling goes, but for sure it's something that we enjoy quite a bit. And that's why we're featuring it, and hopefully you'll get a better bird's eye view into this lovely grape yourself.
Absolutely, and that takes us to where we actually are right now. We're at Mandarin Bistro here in Bloomingdale in the Springbrook Shopping Center, and they have a wonderful Riesling here that we're going to pair up with their delicious fine food. So that's where we are today, and let's go check it out.
We have cozied into a little table here at the Mandarin Bistro. And when I say cozied, I do mean cozy, because the atmosphere in this place is entirely cozy.
Very cozy, yes. Very comfortable.
It is. It's decorated in such a lovely way. It's very calm and relaxing in here, and absolutely clean as a whistle, too.
Yes, spotless. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's time for us to deliberate on the food, our main mission at this particular moment. You can see that we've already settled on our Riesling.
Of course, enjoying a nice glass.
We are, and also enjoying the lovely condensation here, showing it's properly chilled.
Absolutely.
Which is something we never take for granted. Always have to commend a fine restaurant that properly chills its white. So,
absolutely.
On a side note, the Riesling that we have here happens to be German.
Yes.
It is from the fatherland, Deutschland, of Riesling, and it is not too sweet, folks. So it's going to go lovely with everything on the menu here.
That's right. We have to discuss the menu because they have quite an extensive menu here and lots of good stuff to talk about.
They do, yeah. So let's jump in, and starting with the soup and the salads that are offered here. If you check this out, we have the good classics that if you're going to a Chinese restaurant, you simply cannot live without, namely egg drop soup, hot and sour soup, and wonton soup. They also have some very nice salads. Check out the Mandarin orange salad. Doesn't that sound like summer fun?
Sounds delicious.
Summer lovin', had me a blast. And incidentally, that with Riesling is probably going to be wowie.
Perfect.
Appetizer and dim sum. Nice list here of dumplings and such. They have a wide selection as far as different types of dumplings, steamed, pan-fried. The crew, Jeff and myself, recently enjoyed the steamed pot stickers here. They were excellent.
Yes, they
hearty, by the way, big, not for the faint of heart. And they came in a very authentic little steam bamboo basket for the proper steamage. It was delightful. And then we have some even heartier stuff like the spare ribs and then some combination trays for multiple parties. You can try various things here just to get a taste of several different things all on one plate.
Very nice. And then after you've had soup and salad and appetizer, we move on to their house specialties, which we have here. And the nice thing is it comes with your choice of hot and sour soup or egg drop and rice. And they have several excellent ones here. My particular favorite is the house special crispy duck. I had that on our last outing here, and you get your choice of either orange or plum sauce. The nice thing about this duck is it comes deboned, which is really nice. You don't have to fight with getting the meat off the bone. And the duck was done to absolute crispy perfection. I'm a huge fan of duck, and I can easily say this is one of the best ducks I've ever had in my life. Excellent. Many classics here. Seafood sizzling rice comes out, big sizzling tray of seafood and vegetables, also excellent. And they have a nice selection of poultry, chicken down here, orange chicken, kung pao chicken. Very nice, very classic menu, all of it quite excellent. And moving along to their beef, pork, seafood, and vegetarian section, a lot of nice classic selections. Last time we were here, I believe you had the twice pulled pork, twice grilled pork, and it was quite delicious.
It was.
Yeah,
it was
all
amazing,
going crazy
actually.
for it. Nice selection of seafood here, shrimp and everything. And then for the vegetarians out there, they have a nice selection of vegetarian items. So something for everybody here.
Yes, very thorough coverage.
Absolutely.
Which is very nice.
Absolutely.
So in addition to those standard entrees, we also have a section here that's dedicated to fried rice and noodles. So all of the favorites that we love as far as fried rice, good classic lo mein and chow fun. They also have something extremely fun, not just chow fun, but extra fun, and that would be the Singapore curry noodles. I've tried these in the past, and they're simply delightful. Nice, thin, sort of pan sauteed noodle with a nice curry kick, not overwhelming, but just the perfect amount of curry pungency with all the vegetables and meat, and it was just delicious. Another thing you'll notice here, family dinner special. Really an outstanding value,
yes.
And also a nice selection where you can really personalize a menu for your group. So it is $16.95 per person in your family group. You choose a soup, appetizer, a rice, and then you have a choice of one of 8 entrees here for your group. 1 entree per person. So if you've got 3 people, you get 3 entrees, and so forth. Dessert comes with it, a choice of desserts. So what a wonderful thing for a group to come here. Not just an excellent selection, but certainly an excellent value.
Absolutely, yes. And speaking of desserts, they have a lovely selection of desserts here, which we've had in the past, all quite delicious.
Yes.
And of course, their beverage, their wine list, and they also have a full bar here, so if you're in the mood for a cocktail, they can certainly mix you up a great cocktail here as well.
Yeah, what's really cool and something that you don't see very often at Chinese restaurants is that some of their desserts go outside the normal Chinese box.
Right.
We have things like cheesecake and tiramisu. So you can really go out there. You don't have to stick with the traditional Asian themed desserts.
Absolutely.
Very nice to have those options.
Absolutely.
We're beginning our dining journey at the Mandarin Bistro with some appetizers. The first one we have here, look how lovely this is. This is their house special fresh spring roll. And it's actually a cold rice paper wrapping. Look how nice and delicate the wrapping is, but inside it is chock full with shrimp, chicken, lettuce, and cucumbers. We also have a crispy rice noodle straw as a garnishment. And on the side here we have their special peanut plum sauce for the dip-in. So
excellent.
Let's do that.
Let's dip.
Okay, I think we finally reached a verdict. So first we're going to order for our capable crew over here. And he's decided on one of your house specialties. He's going to do the seafood sizzling rice, please.
Okay. All right.
May I have the jade chicken, please? And may I have the brown rice with that?
Sure. Thank you.
I'll have the house special chow mein and brown rice also, please.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Trina. Perfect, thank you.
Serve the seasoning rice dish. Be careful. It's very hot. Be careful. Be careful. Yeah. Like here.
There you go.
I'm gonna put it on a hot place. Some rice in there. This is how they go. Oh, it smells so good. There you go. Okay, now we're ready to serve.
This is the jade chicken. This excellent dish is chock full of nice white chicken meat, very plentiful, also very juicy and tender. This is equipped also with fresher than fresh broccoli and pea pods. Not just the color, but also the crispness tells you just exactly how unbelievably fresh this is. The sauce is light but full of flavor. I love the consistency, and it's draped nicely on everything, but not cloaking it where it's, you know, a ruination. It's actually the perfect sauce for this. I also love the little garnishment of a carrot flower. I'm actually saving him there for last because he just makes me happy. There's no other way to put it. Cheery cheer on the plate. I've gone with the brown rice instead of white rice. Nice that they give you that option here. You can either do white or brown or even plain fried rice if you would like. The brown rice here is perfect. It's authentic. I have in the past had brown rice that simply is white rice, colored beige, not even brown. They should just call it
not even
beige rice. But this is completely authentic. You can see the grains in it. They give it that extra pop texture so you know it's real. I can tell you everything is absolutely delicious.
And I went with the house special chow mein, which consists of beef, chicken, and shrimp, and these wonderfully thin, delicious little noodles resting underneath the beef, chicken, and shrimp. The sauce, very light. It soaks into every morsel of meat and shrimp and chicken, and the noodles absorb it beautifully, and it's just a wonderful mesh of interesting flavors. And it's super fresh, as you said. Can't get any fresher than this. And finally, the crew went with the sizzling seafood platter. And as you saw when it came out, it was sizzling.
Literally.
Absolutely sizzling. And what an interesting combination here. We have shrimp, scallops, and calamari. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Along with a nice bed of vegetables. Of course, there's our broccoli, and we've got some onions in here. But it's really interesting how they take the time to carve up the calamari and remove a very thin layer of skin. I would have never guessed this was calamari had we not inquired. But again, just a wonderful mesh of flavors. Excellent dish. And the crew also went with the heaping bowl of white rice.
Yes, and true to the other dishes that we've talked about, certainly no skimping on the seafood.
No.
I think we've all had that experience with restaurants where there's meat and veggies. We got a lot of veggies going on.
Right.
And, oh, where's the meat? And obviously not a problem here.
No.
Even in the seafood department, very generous, with the seafood part of that meal. Well, here we are with the owners of this fine establishment, the Mandarin Bistro. Please welcome Tony and Trina. Folks, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We've had a marvelous evening here. We enjoyed everything from the wine all the way through to every bit of food that we had. So we're anxious to talk to you a little bit about the background of Mandarin Bistro. So we'd like to start out by asking about how long you've actually been here in this Bloomingdale location.
We've been here 5.5 years and going on strong.
Very good, very good. You're happy with your location here?
Yes, we are.
Okay, excellent.
A lot of good people around here.
Very good, very good. And we know that you folks have a lot of regulars. We could tell just while we were here and the previous times we've been here as well.
Right.
You clearly have repeat customers, a lot of takeout business, so it seems like you have a loyal following.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yeah, we do.
We're really
We,
happy about that. Yeah.
Obviously, Tony here is the chef. You might have picked up on that from his excellent garb, and the food was really excellent. So we'd love to hear a little bit about your experience as a chef. How long have you been in the business?
Oh, I have been in this business for more than 30 years.
Okay.
My parents used to own a Chinese restaurant in London, England.
Wow, is that
And
right?
I grew up there and learned from there. And then I also take a trip to Europe, in Germany, Holland, Denmark. I work in Chinese restaurant there for about 3.5 years. 2 years in England, 4 years in Europe, different countries.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so you are very seasoned, and you've seen quite a lot in the culinary industry.
Yes.
I think what really is impressive about that is here we have a gentleman who literally is a world-traveled seasoned chef. He has more than 3 decades of experience. He's seen it all on an international level, and here we have that expertise available to us right in Bloomingdale. I mean, that really is impressive.
Right, and you were awarded one of the top 100 Chinese restaurants in the United States?
Right.
That's very impressive.
Yes.
Yeah, please tell us a little bit more about that award. What was that award about?
That's a Chinese restaurant magazine,
We enjoy the program. Yeah.
and they have this every year they have this how you call it competition, is that?
Oh,
No?
competition, okay, right?
And
like a voting?
Voting.
Mm-hmm.
They send a
Food credit.
outside
Food critic.
a critic to they don't name them. They don't. They just
Secretly come.
come here and check us out. With
How about that? Undercover critic.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best.
check us out, and then they gave us a very high mark.
Excellent.
And then and also with the voting and the
Voting from our customer.
also the from our customer, and then we are named the top 100 that year Chinese restaurant in USA, in US that year.
Well, that is excellent. That is an excellent accomplishment. And really, there's no finer endorsement than not just an undercover critic, but from your own customers voting for you, taking the time to vote for you.
Right.
Clearly, you have a very loyal following, and that there's a reason why. Yes, we have a husband and wife team here, which is also very special. Really a family operation. We've got some other younger members of the family here helping out as well. And who might some of these folks be?
Oh, that's my daughters and my son. Yeah, they still in school, but they come and help us out when they have a break or summertime. Yeah.
Very nice. And then our server this evening, the gentleman who's also been our server in the past as well, he is...
Yeah, he's my older brother.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And you just really
Family
get that
business,
warmth when you have a whole family acting as a team, serving and supporting the whole function. So it really is special as well. Something else I really want to point out is how much we love the atmosphere, the decor. Everything is so lovely. And so many times, Chinese places are takeout only. It's, I think, becoming more rare to even have a Chinese restaurant that you can dine in anymore, relax, have a nice glass of wine, so that is really special. But you also frequently hear people say, oh, you know, it's the little hole-in-the-wall place that has the best food. And frankly, that can be true, that a lot of these places that maybe aren't much to look at do have excellent food sometimes. But what I love about you folks is that you get it all here. You have superb food in a beautiful atmosphere as well. So really want to commend you for the lovely decor of your restaurant as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, was that your decorating touch here? Or?
Yeah, we both designed that, and we both
put in a
decorated
lot of effort there.
Excellent.
Yeah, we did it ourselves.
Well, it paid off very well.
Yes.
Paid off very well.
Yes,
You had a lovely evening.
Yeah, and then you capped that off with the German Riesling. So we applaud you for that too.
I worked in a Chinese restaurant in Mosel, Rhine area.
In Germany.
Trier and Koblenz. That's Mosel and Rhine area. And they grow a lot of wine there. I used to drink some Mosel and Rhine. So I know some good German wine. And this time they said they have a German Riesling.
Yeah, and it is. It's
and
perfect.
I ordered them and they came in time.
Yeah, so very good. So
Delicious.
Even his wine selection comes from his international experience. The man was in Germany, he knows. So folks, if you want to experience the bounty of the experience of these folks, their wealth of knowledge, their expertise, just come to Bloomingdale to the Mandarin Bistro. Tony and Trina will be more than happy to serve you along with their beautiful family. So folks, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Can
Truly
I
appreciate
take
it.
this advantage to thank all our customers in the past few years that support us, and thank you very much for your support.
Toolage time.
It is indeed. And this week's Toolage is great. It's functional, informative, practical, and fun.
Just
All
like
in
you.
one. Well, thank you, sir. That is sweet. Thank you. Yes, not many things have that whole combination of adjectives, but this is one of them. This is called the wine wheel. It's a handy-dandy reference. You just take him out of his little sleevey there. And this features wine and food pairings from 14 different types of cuisine, which you see around the edge of the wheel. And then under each type of cuisine, there are 6 different wine pairing suggestions for certain dishes within that cuisine. There are 2 sides of the wheel. This is the red wine side, and then this would be the white wine side. And what you do is, based on your cuisine around the edges here, you simply spin the wheel, sort of like Wheel of Fortune, but a little bit more practical if you ask me. And what happens is the wheel acts as a way to filter through the data so that you can quickly identify the exact wine and food pairing that you want. So as an example, I'm going to flip over to the red side, and let's just say that we're interested in Chinese cuisine in honor of Mandarin Bistro. So here I go to Chinese, and they're giving me 4 different entrees. And notice how the reds that they're suggesting go from light to fuller reds. So for example, pork chow mein, they recommend Beaujolais. Mushu pork, in Italian Dolcetto. Mongolian beef is Pinot Noir, and Peking duck is also Pinot Noir. And how cool that Mushu pork, something the crew has had here before, and the duck, you've had here before.
Yep.
And recommending wine for both of those on the wheel here. Flipping said wheel over to the white side, again, we'll draw our way to Chinese in honor of Mandarin Bistro. And look at this, the hot and sour soup specifically is paired up with Riesling.
Perfect.
And that's exactly what I did experience tonight, because I had the hot and sour soup with the Riesling, and it was magnificent. Interesting, it mentions here they recommend a German Riesling of the Cabernet variety.
Okay.
Cabernet simply means earlier harvest, so again, not as sweet.
Right.
And in line with what Mandarin Bistro has, it truly was an authentic German Riesling. So
Right.
I just really felt the karma here. Not just that this is so cool, but because it really tied into the menu here and certainly what we experienced. And also on the body of the wheel itself, in addition to the actual wedge part that allows you to explore your different cuisines and their pairings, there's little informational tidbits just on the wheel itself. And here, under the ideal match, it actually tells you what they consider to be the ideal food and wine pairing. And of course, Jeff and I do believe that really it's all about your palate.
Of course.
It is
Absolutely.
true. There are really no right and wrong
right.
ways to do it. It's what you like. But I love the way they describe it here, is that what they go for when they were testing all these different matches, they felt that they wanted to find a food and wine pairing where the food and the wine, they match as far as character, but they still keep their own character when they come together. Yet when they're combined, something magic happens. It's like 1 + 1 = 85. You know, the sum of the parts, is exceeded by the magic of the combination. And then
Very
it said
nice.
that really is a pretty good rule for any good relationship. And I thought that was very profound.
Wow. You got a lot out of that wheel, didn't you?
This little tiny thing, chock full of stuff. And quite frankly, when it comes to relationships, my relationship with wine has always been much more successful than my relationships with people. That's another story altogether.
That's a whole other show.
But it is true. But here's the wine wheel. Again, food and wine pairings, just to give you some guidelines to explore the world of matching food and wine. Well, we have enjoyed ourselves immensely here at the Mandarin Bistro.
It's been a magical evening. Absolutely magical evening.
It has. Of course, from the wine, the lovely German Riesling, down to the food that we paired it with, everything was exquisite. A couple of quick notes to share with you, friends, about the Mandarin Bistro. Here we have our takeout menus. Of course, they do a very good takeout business here as well. In
Yes,
fact,
they do.
tonight we heard the phone ringing and people coming in to pick up their takeout orders, and it happens every time that we're here. So the entire menu, of course, is available for takeout, so look at that. And they also feature an excellent lunch menu with some great lunch specials. Everything includes soup, rice, egg roll. So you certainly can't beat a great Chinese lunch deal like that.
That's right. You and I had a 5-hour lunch here a few months ago, actually.
Yes.
Enjoyed
Jeff and I
ourselves
are
immensely.
notorious for our 5-hour lunches. We always have to block out about 5 hours when we
That's
have
right.
lunch. And we cozied up here just
Yes, we
fine
did.
with our wine and like $7.95 lunch special.
It was a good afternoon.
It was. Could not have been happier.
That's right.
Yes.
They also offer delivery service if you don't feel like driving out. They will certainly deliver to your home. They also do catering.
We highly recommend you folks try out the Mandarin Bistro. Please tell them that Something to Wine About sent you, too. That's always fun.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, that brings us to the end.
Yes, always sad, but we're happy to have had this time with you, and certainly hope you enjoyed yourselves, and that you also get yourselves a nice glass of Riesling very
Definitely.
soon. Crisp, refreshing, delicious. And until next time, cheers to you all.
Cheers.